Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Raptor X here with Good Clean Gaming RX, and today we are back in Star Citizen, and this time we're on the wrong side of the law. For a little while I've kind of been avoiding this simply because as a new player, being on the illegal side of things is much harder than being on the legal side of things. But over the course of my weekend playing with the rest of my org mates, we decided to antagonize the server and see if we could attract some attention. And one of the quickest ways to do that is to get yourself a Crimestat. So I did a couple of the criminal missions, and as a result of that I now have a Crimestat 4. So, that means that as a criminal I can be hunted by the rest of the server. I've got a bounty on my head now that's probably the best part of 30,000 Alpha UEC, which I can't see myself, but if I look on my Moby Glass here we can see that I have a Crimestat 4, and that means that basically anyone that is on the legal side of things can take a bounty for me and collect on that if they can manage to kill me. It also means that the large majority of my usual missions are gone and no longer accessible, and I'm now relegated to the personal missions here. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I'm not in any danger of smacking into the planet here as I'm soaring along. We're a little ways out from really any of the major OM points, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm just going to sit here, we'll kind of stream along a little bit, and we'll take a look and see what these personal missions are. So we've got a delivery that we can get some samples and take those. Got 9,000 Alpha UEC for that. We've got some maintenance for 10,000 and 6,000. We've got some mercenary missions, and these ones are the ones where we start getting into a little bit more money and the ability to level up with some of the factions. And then we get into investigation, and these ones are generally given by the Nine Tails, which is the criminal organization in the first currently. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into these mercenary ones here, and generally these are given by this Vaughn character. So I'm going to go ahead and check this one. This one's for 17,500, and we're going to see if we can find this Brock Bones Wilford to be piloting a fairly well armed vessel in the company of a few skilled pilots somewhere near the Hurston wreck site. Now, Hurston is a little bit far away from me, so I'm going to look around and see if there's something else a little bit closer. This is Microtech, so we won't do that. There we go, Grim Hex. This is 9,000. Flight recorder. This one's more of a missing crew. This is a comm array. We've got to shut it down. Clearing the competition. This one is... This one's near Arco 1. This is essentially the opposite side of the clearing the mining claim, the claim jumpers mission. Then we've got this one. This one's around Yella, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one. And we've got 17,500 waiting for us if we can manage to take out these people on the other side of the planet here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump around. This is OM1, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a different one because OM1 is known to be a PvP destination, and so I'm going to kind of go out of my way and instead of jumping to there, try and stay a little bit away from those known PvP general locations. And I'm going to... come on. I'm going to jump to my OM6 here, and then we'll be able to navigate to the target's location from there. Should be. There we go, perfect. So we'll go ahead and align and spool to this one. We're keeping our head on a swivel at this point as well, because basically anyone that we might run into at this point, we're fair game. It's open season on Raptor X. And so we're going to do our best to stay out of, well, stay out of player trouble. I'm not worried about the NPCs because I'm quite capable of handling them, but there are many other players potentially on this server, there's a good chance of it at least, that are better than me at a PvP engagement, and so I'm going to try and avoid them. However, you know, being on the wrong side of the law means that there is always a good chance that that you'll run into another PvP player and that you will need to fight your way out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll line up with this guy. Bring my speed back down. There we go. We're in a good spot. And we'll go ahead and light him up. I'm going to go ahead and swap some of my power over to weapons here so I can get some power to my weapons while retaining some on my shields. We'll just go ahead and orbit this guy and pump as many bullets into him as we can. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful of that guy. Not particularly worried. There we go. This one's more of a lighter ship. Appears to be a mantis. There we go. Yep, that'd be a mantis. Which they're pretty easily killed, so I'm not worried about that one. There's another NPC over there. We're going to leave him alone. We really don't need to kill everyone out here. But our crime stat has increased. We're still a level 4, but we are racking up crimes against our name. And if we get killed by security and sent off to prison time, that will be in jail. So essentially, at this point, we're just going to do a couple of have to infiltrate the facility. Those ones are going to be ones that we'll have to get into a facility and kill them. So I'm not going to do any of those. We are going to see about doing some more of these and leveling up our Vaughn missions, because I believe after you've done a few of these, it actually gets to the point where you get some higher tier missions with him. So since I'm on the illegal side of the law here, we'll take advantage of that and see about getting some of these missions completed and hopefully leveling up our stats with them. Now there is a rep system on this Delphi here. And there we go, that's our Vaughn rating right there. And that kind of lets us know where we're at as far as our reputation with this Vaughn character. Covalex shipping, we're going to see if we can find an OM point. There we go, OM2, that'll work. So this is 600 and change. That one's 200 and change. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take this one. And we'll align here and we're going to try and drop out of quantum travel. Halfway across. There we go. And not quite. That one's 400 and change. That one's 500 and change, and that one's the same. So we're just going to go ahead and stream in here. We're still going to be somewhat limited as far as our speed, so we're just going to go ahead and crank up our speed to full, and then I'll resume as soon as I get close to this guy. Okay, so we're coming into the surface of Daymar here. I'm going to go ahead and start scanning, and we're going to see if we can find this Scotty individual that Bond wants us to take out. We should start to see that here momentarily. Oh, there we go. So there are 3 targets. I'm going to go ahead and Drake Buccaneer. Not too worried about that one. Cutlass Black. And another Cutlass Black. Alright, not too worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and we'll take out this. Take out this Cutlass Black first. The servers are having some issues today. There we go, perfect. Alright, go ahead and we'll swap over to shields here, power to shields, there we go, perfect. And then we'll swap these back around again.
Friendly target.
Now I'm of course getting this friendly target warning because these are ships on the correct side of the law. Perfect. And I'm going to take this guy out because I don't think he's going to let us leave. Without trying to take us down. So we'll go ahead and try and stay out of his firing arc. Oop, and he's jumped away. Okay, so we don't have to worry about him. We've successfully completed another mission. It does take a little bit to get up to a Crimestat 5. Let's go ahead and end comms with this guy. There we go. And we'll get back up here and out into space. Okay, so as you can see, we've made a little bit of money. I'm going to go ahead and see what else we can do. There we go, some more mercenary missions. These ones are Vaughn again. Rufus, that one's a Hurston one. Yella, there we go. So we'll go ahead and grab another one of these. And we'll we'll see if we can get. Hang on. Server's having some issues today, apparently. Dusters, Vaughn, Rufus, Hurston, complicated task. Lathan on Ariel. Her L1, that one's a little bit of a ways as well. A task requiring skill. There we go, perfect. So we've finally gotten the server to respond and give us our mission. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll spool up the quantum drive once more. And we'll jump out to an OM point here. And begin our journey. Now, when you have a crime stat this high, there's really only one way to clear it. And that is to hack your crime stat down. I don't have a hacking chip on me currently, and those can only be purchased at Grimhex, which is a good thing because I still have access to that. But if you have a crime stat, anything over a crime stat 2, you are locked out of any of the peaceful or neutral landing zones. Including all of the planetary stations, any of the Lagrange points, and any of the planetary landing zones, those that are marked with the home base type shape like Grimhex there. You can still land on any of the various different hexagonal shaped markers on the planetary surfaces, because those are, well, some of them at least are not guarded with any sort of anti-aircraft emplacements. But care should be exercised, of course, because any of the bunkers and a decent number of the other emplacements and other locations actually do have anti-aircraft lasers there, and if you're going in with a crime stat, they're going to want to try and kill you. So you should definitely exercise some care there, so that you're not being killed. By getting close to the position. And you'll know relatively quickly whether you've attracted attention or not. These ones appear to be inside the asteroid. We'll see if there's perhaps an entrance or something here. Oh, goodness. Darker than the inside of a cow out here. Go ahead and turn up my graphics settings a little bit. Oops. So that I can see. There we go. Alright, definitely no entrance there. Go ahead and strafe around here a little bit and see if there's an entrance into this thing. Okay, it's a hollow asteroid. Or whether the game has spawned these things inside and we have no way of getting them out. Definitely a decent number of them. But I'm not seeing anywhere that we can actually get into the asteroid. Oh, and it's kind of acting like it's not even there. "3,000 meters away." See if we can pop over to the other side of the asteroid here. Let me turn my speed limiter on here quickly as well so that I can get down to a more easily controlled speed. Definitely a bit of a bug that they've spawned inside this asteroid. So I'm not seeing any way of actually getting into there. I don't think it's a Helleye asteroid. It's just that it's the game has decided to do me a disservice and pop them inside the asteroid instead of outside them. Okay, so I think at this point we're probably going to have to leave the area and then pop back in. Because it very much seems to think that they are right there. So I'm going to go ahead and spool up my quantum drive. Go ahead and pop out to OM1. Should be taking a little bit of a risk here, actually.
Initiated. Quantum travel complete.
I don't see anyone over here, so fly back in and see if that's fixed things. Otherwise, we'll have to abandon this mission and see if we can go and do something else. Now, when the upcoming 3.18 patch goes live, they have said that they are going to be making Security Post Korea the only spot that you can clear your crime stats. No, they are still stuck in the asteroid, so we're gonna have to abandon this one and leave them go on their merry way. Which means if you're a new player, knowing how to get into there is going to be pretty important. They've also said that because it's going to be the only spot where one can do that, there is a very, very high chance of PvP if you go there, because the bounty hunters will be sticking around that spot, simply because there's going to be a lot of people attempting to clear their crime stat. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to attempt to clear my crime stat on this one because it's getting to be a little bit of a longer video. But I am going to pop over to Selin, and we'll kind of show you where it's at. Let's see here, I'm 6. We want to go to... It's yellow. Where has Selin wandered off to? There's Crusader. There it is, perfect. So there's Selin. It's one of the moons of Crusader. I'm going to go ahead and pop over there.
Initiated.
A little bit of a flight, but quantum travel makes it relatively quick. And then we're going to go to a little planetary station called Security Post Korea, or SPK.
Quantum travel complete.
And that is going to be the only place where a criminal will be able to bring down his crime stat. So you're looking for a rounded square location. Let's see here, OM4. It's going to be floating out in space. Not too far away, so I may have buzzed past it actually. And of course, if you get totally lost and can't find it, you can always pop into your Mobiglass and your star map, which I'm going to do here. We'll look at Crusader and then Selin, and then we're going to look for Security Post Korea. There we go. And we'll set our waypoint there. Yeah, it was a little bit off. And we'll go ahead and jump there.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete.
And that is the security post. I've got it looks like a couple of Crusader security there. There's a Mantis and an Origin 315, as well as an Aegis Gladius hanging around over here. So there's a good chance I'm going to get into some PvP, because this Gladius here is either clearing his crime stat, which means he's going to become a lawful player, or else he's already a lawful player, at which point he's weapons free to take me on at his convenience. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over here, and we're going to see about taking out the Mantis that's over here. There we go, RSI Mantis, because that one can effectively block my ability to quantum travel, and I don't want to be stuck here. And there we go, we can see by the there we go, perfect. We've got that one. But it appears that there is a secondary quantum bubble here somewhere, because I am being prevented from leaving, and it seems like the AI... There we go, perfect, we've got that one. There's another one over here though, because I can't leave at this point. There's a... There's an Aegis Avenger variant. They do have a rather distinctive sound on them with their ballistic Gatlings. Try and take this guy out. There we go, getting some good hits, perfect. going to have a little look around again because it appears that we've still got something jamming our quantum. There we go. Got that taken out because the origin. Ooh, M50 interceptor. This one's going to be a bit of a challenge. They are very, very quick and agile.
Friendly target.
And so you've got to be pretty quick at taking them out. And unfortunately, he's just sat there. So we've kind of got the area cleared over here. And at this point, we're kind of good to operate in this area so long as we don't get too close to the station. We've got a Drake Buccaneer over here, which is an NPC. I'm not too worried about him because it's a Buccaneer. But we also don't want to get too close to the station, as it's quite capable of firing both missiles and lasers at us. And so we don't want to get too close and get entangled with that. We do have, let's see here, another one. That's another M50 interceptor there. Oh, goodness. Unfortunately, well, unfortunately for him, rather fortunately for us, he's making the mistake of strafing there, or jousting, and so we're quite capable of just dumping in lots of lasers as he goes past, and keeping the skies clear. So, as a criminal, if you're just going up against NPCs, as a new player, they'll be a little bit challenging. As you become a little bit better at the game and actually practice your flying, targeting, all that sort of stuff, they don't really become much of a threat. However, if you are hanging around SPK, there's a good chance that you're going to have players pop up against you. At which point, whoop, there we go. So somebody's targeting us. I'm not sure at this point whether it's a player or whether it's one of the NPCs. We do have, let's see here, there's a freelancer and a Mustang Delta. I think these are probably both just NPCs. Yeah, they both are. I'm not too worried about them. But as you can see, the station is actively attacking them. And if we get too close, we'll fall prey to that also. So I'm going to go ahead and make good my escape. I'm going to spool up the quantum drive. And we are going to head back to Grimhex. And we'll save the clearing of a Crimestat for the next video. Assuming, of course, that I don't get jumped on my way back and taken out. Somebody's locking us.
Quantum travel initiated.
So we've lost our comlink, which means if you are running, this is one of the areas in the dead space between planets that you can effectively hide by just dropping out of quantum travel in between either of those locations. And you can literally just sit there until people get bored if you wish to. And as a new player, it's probably not a bad idea. Oh, slick in mine! So this is... oh goodness. So he's running a 325A with full ballistics. So we're going to try and avoid as much of that as we can. Boom! Alright. Sorry, Slick. That was not the way to go. The 325As are, or the 300 series. They're good ships, but they won't stand up to a Gladius. Unless you're a significantly better pilot. It's just not going to do the trick. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll find Grim Hex and see if we can pop up here. That was actually one of my org mates coming to give me a hard time, which I don't mind at all. That's really one of the benefits of getting into a criminal side of things, is that if you're looking for PvP, it will find you. You really don't have to wait very long, especially if you've got some buddies who are into tracking down and hunting bounties. It's quite possible that you'll end up hunted all across the system pretty frequently. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll pop back into Grim Hex here, since we're definitely going to start attracting attention here. There's a retaliator out there. I'm hoping that one's not going to try and get me, because the Gladius, unfortunately, is not going to stand up to a retaliator if it's manned. That would be one that I would most definitely run from, because it's more than capable of taking out a Gladius if it's got a crew on it. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll pop into Grim Hex here. There we go. That's on the other side. Let's go ahead and pop around there. Drop the landing gear, swap down into SCM limiting speeds.
Landing gear deployed.
And we'll go ahead and pop into our landing zone. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, that will be it for today's video. Sorry this one's gone on a little bit longer than my usual 30 minutes. But we've definitely had fun and explored a little bit on the wild side, the criminal side of things. Tomorrow we'll give it a shot at clearing a Crimestat, and we'll go over how to do that. Because if you end up a criminal in 317, it's definitely something that you can do, and if you don't want to end up in jail, something that you will have to do. And one of the best places that you can do that would be at Security Post Korea, because it's going to be the only place that you'll be able to do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.